Hello people and welcome back to Talking Comics. Today I'm talking about All-Star Superman. The story focuses on Superman, aka Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, slowly dying cause of too much exposure to Earth's sun, with him basically trying to do as much good as possible with the limited time he has on Earth. All-Star Superman isn't considered canon because of obviously the story dealing with the idea of him dying from sun exposure was maybe almost like a cancer to him. If Superman gains power from the sun, it's maybe if he's too overexposed from it, he will get sick, he'll slowly start to die, and that's what this is focusing on. Even though the story heavily deals with the idea of Superman dying, it is overall still focused heavily on just Superman's kindness and hope on the world. And that's kind of what's trying to more go with than, he's dying. That's a huge part of the story. It's more trying to show how, even with that aspect on his life, Clark desperately has hope for a better world and that hope for people to grow and learn. The overall story of All-Star Superman is good. There is reasons why this is going to be inspiration for the up-and-coming film and for many other comics coming out in the future. Though that doesn't mean it's perfect. I think the depiction of Superman and Lex are really good and very much spot on to how their characters act, but I think Lois at times feels slightly out of character in certain moments. That's not necessarily saying the entire story itself is bad, it's just I feel like Lois at times isn't exactly like herself. Lex Luthor is extremely well done in this story. His egotisticalness and how he acts like he's better than everyone, better than Superman. His clear fear over an alien, he doesn't trust being this perfectly good person because he doesn't believe someone with that power could be good necessarily, is really well done. It's just overall interesting and at times very funny how it comes across. I will say there is a moment where that character being Jimmy Olsen, refers to a Romani character as a slur. Now, this word has a long history of offensive uses. I won't say it, but I wanted to just mention that it's in there. This comic did come out in 2005, so that's not super shocking, but also this word is still heavily used in most modern media, so either way it's not super surprising to see it be used like this. I just want to mention that was in the comic. The artwork isn't going to be for everyone. I personally don't always like how it appears in the comic. Some certain scenes aren't drawn to my particular taste, but there's definitely art in here was good and very rememberable. I still very much like it at certain moments, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone. Overall, even though, like I said, I have some problems with the comic, it is still overall very touching, and there's definitely some very sad and happy moments in it. Grant Morrison's obviously proved that they can write good stories. They've been doing it for a while now with Animal Man, Doom Patrol, and much more. This definitely isn't my favourite out of their work, but definitely one of their most well-known, at least publicly right now, and it's definitely still a very good story. People have debated if this is a good starting off point for people who are looking to read Superman. I personally don't think it's perfect, as this does heavily reference older comics. It heavily deals with Superman's supporting cast of characters, and overall it's clear you'd have to have at least a slightly good amount of knowledge on Superman himself and his supporting cast. Now it's up to you if you want to read it, and even if you haven't read too much Superman, you might have not read any Superman at all, but I would suggest at least maybe looking into characters like Jimmy Olsen and other side characters to at least know who they are, because they are important to the story. Though I would think people would at least know who Jimmy Olsen is, though his kind of publicity has fallen out from the public view, as it was deemed that Superman having a best friend who's Jimmy Olsen, this very nerdy, silly character, was too silly. But I'm glad he's kind of getting pushed back into the spotlight, as he seems to be in the new Superman movie. But yeah, if you don't know who he is, then you should learn about him. He's a very fun character. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, you can like it or even dislike the video, that's up to you. I have more comic book related content on my channel if you want to look at that. But yeah, thank you for watching once again. That's all, and goodbye.